Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast, where we talk all things personal growth, transformation, and stress optimization. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about why. Why do we do this work? Why do we care about personal growth? Why do we care about transformation? Why do we care about stress optimization? Why do we want to pursue some sort of journey that allows us to be the most satisfied, fulfilled, vibrant version of ourselves? Okay, so we're going to talk about why. Why? What is the point? Why do we do this? We're going to talk about how many people that has the potential to impact if you do choose to take that sort of journey. We're going to talk about the vibrant equation, what it takes to truly be vibrant. And then, of course, there's going to be some actionable steps and a companion workbook waiting for you at the end. So where this came from is we had some friends in town over the weekend, and we were just chit-chatting, and we were staying out a little bit later than, we're used to and all the things. And we started having this conversation about why it's so important to enjoy your life. Not just to live it, not just to cross things off your to-do list, not to just achieve a bunch of things, but to truly enjoy it. And I talked about how I rate my day at the end, and I use this tool to measure my overall satisfaction and fulfillment that I felt that day. So why is this important? Because we can tell how aligned we are by how much energy we have before, during, and after we do something, but we can measure our overall satisfaction and fulfillment level by how we feel when our head hits the pillow each night. So it is and I'm sure that all of you have felt this. Like, have you ever felt, my friend Amy and I call it the 3-in-1 day, right? Where the day felt like the time just kept expanding, and the earlier that day felt like it was a bajillion hours ago, right? We feel when we have a day, there is a palpable difference when you know that you lived that day with everything you had, and when you know that you left a lot on the table that day, right? There's a difference between those feelings. And it's not just about how much you did, how many things you crossed off your to-do list. It's deeper than that. It's more about who you were, how you walked through that day, how well you were able to just kind of follow the breadcrumbs from one thing to another it's usually this beautiful mix of discipline and spontaneity that happens. But we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of that in a minute. So here's the question that I ask each night. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied or fulfilled do you feel when your head hits the pillow? Okay, well, I'm asking it to you, but I would ask that to myself, okay? And here's the scale. 10, giving my day a 10 means that, you know what? I could die tonight and I could never wake up, and I would be completely satisfied with how I lived that day. Like, I didn't leave anything on the table. I took every chance that I had. I was present. I did all the things. And I don't want to die. I have a lot more things that I would like to accomplish in this life. That's not what we're saying. It's if I did, you know what? I could say that I lived my last day beautifully, just the way I wanted to. 1 would be, please, dear God, give me another day, because that was not my best showing, right? So sometimes these things have to do with your external circumstances, but oftentimes it actually doesn't. It's how you walked through the day. So why is our satisfaction so important? Well, 1, it tells us if we are operating from our stress sweet spot. And when we are operating from that stress sweet spot, we become vibrant. And why is being vibrant so important? So there's a couple of reasons. 1, and Andrew, actually, I have to give him credit for this quote. He heard it at an EOS event that he was at. So I don't know if you are the person who said this and you ever listened to this episode, then please let me know. But the quote was, in this life, you can be intelligent and you will open a lot of doors. You can be brilliant and you will open a few more. But if you are vibrant, doors will open for you. Being vibrant is like this magnetic thing that happens. And so it's such a beautiful, so I'm just going to let you sit with that quote. Doors will open for you. When we are vibrant, we are not forcing our way through things. We are just allowing things to happen. Doors are opening. And why this matters is because the second reason is you have no idea how many people you can impact by simply walking through the world from a place of love or above. So I'm going to attach, there's a frequency chart that essentially rates all the different emotions. Okay. And then there's an energetic frequency. Everything has a frequency. And the lowest possible emotion that we can feel is shame, which has a energetic frequency of 20. And then we have guilt, which is 30. We have fear, which is 100. You get the point. And it goes up. And like I said, I'll attach this. When we can operate from a place of love, we're operating from an energetic frequency of 500. And it goes all the way up to 1,000. And in this chart, you'll see it actually shows you what you experience in each of those things. So it's a pretty cool chart. So definitely take a look at it. But we have the ability, when we are operating from a place of love, okay? And let's remember the definition of love really quick. So love, the definition of love is doing what is best for all, not what's best for you. It's making decisions that honor everyone involved, which is often the harder decision. Okay. So when you do something and you give yourself up for someone else, that's not love because they're getting the benefit. You're actually depleting yourself. It's not what's best for everybody involved. Okay. So this takes some practice to operate from this place. And it's also, love is unconditional. So that is the essence of I love you always, not I love you if you get your whole to-do list done, if you get good grades, if you make decisions that I agree with, if you work hard, if you look a certain way. We're kind of taught in our world, most of the love that we give and receive is based on conditions, right? But if we really go back to all of the sages, if you go back to what Jesus stood for, he stood for love, which is I love you always, even if you are not making all the same decisions that I would agree with, even if it's always, right? So when you think about that, we have to really learn how to give ourselves unconditional love, which we have a really hard time with, right? And we need to also give other people unconditional love. But if we can't give it to ourselves, then we're not going to be able to give it to other people either. So I just wanted to give us a brief review of what love is. But when we operate in love, then we can get to even higher frequency emotions, which are joy, bliss, enlightenment, all the things. But we're just going to focus on love right now, okay? So if you are operating from this vibrant, loving space, it can counteract. You ready for this? This is from the book Power Over Force. Great book. I will also link that up in the show notes. You can counteract 750,000 people operating from those lower frequencies that we talked about: guilt, shame, anger, fear, pride. Now tell me if there is anything else that you can do, anything that you can accomplish, anything that you can be, anything that you can achieve that will ever have that kind of impact. In a singular moment of operating from love, we can counteract we can positively impact 750,000 people. If you are one of those people who wants to make the world a better place, then I'm telling you right now, this is how you do it. All right? This is how you do it. It's how you walk through the world. It is making sure that you're living a life where you feel satisfied, you feel fulfilled, and you feel in love with yourself so that you can truly radiate that love out to other people. I just don't think there's any other way to make that kind of impact, which is why this work is so important. So now I want to break down the formula for being vibrant. How do we operate from that state? How do we stay in that stress sweet spot? So here's what I've come up with, and I have really been, contemplating this and allowing this to come through. That the formula for vibrancy is 3 things. It's presence, it's self-respect, and it's authenticity. Okay? It takes those 3 ingredients. So I want to break those down one by one. The first one, presence. This is so much more than just being where your feet are. Okay? That's important. It's extremely important. And a lot of us struggle with being where our feet are. We're either in the past or we're in the future. And so this is a huge piece of the puzzle, is being able to be where your feet are. But this is also being aware or in tune in each moment. Okay? So this takes practice. This is why one of the first things that we start to do when I work with somebody is to reset that nervous system so that you can feel safe and you can retrain our mind and our body to feel safe in the present moment. And what this is choosing to respond when we're able to be present, when we're able to be aware, we're able to choose to respond as who we are today and who we're becoming instead of reacting from a past version of ourselves. Remember, react is it's doing the same thing that you've always done. And if we do the same thing that we've always done, we're going to get the same results that we've always had, right? And so this is where we take back control of our life. This is about paying attention and being able to discern between the chaos that our mind likes to drum up, the drama that our emotions tend to bring forward, and the clarity and calmness of our soul that comes through in our body wisdom. All right, awareness, when we can have awareness of those things, it gives you a choice. And when you have a choice, you understand that at every moment you can choose. You get to choose your next step. You get to respond. You don't have to keep doing it the same way that you've always done it. Then all of a sudden, you are no longer the victim of your circumstances. You realize that you're the creator of your life and you can take radical responsibility for your life, and that gives you your power back. And that is a form of power. This is not an external power. This is an internal power that no one can strip from you because it's not tied to anything external. It's not saying, if this happens, then I can make this choice. You're saying, I own this. I own this choice in each and every moment. No matter what it is my choice. And that's a power that no one can take from you. All right, so that's presence. The second one is self-respect. Okay, so I really wanted this one to be self-love. I did. I really wanted it to be self-love, but I just cannot with the self-love movement right now. Okay, I think that the intentions of the self-love movement were good, but I think that it has become an excuse to be a lesser version of yourself, and that just does not vibe with me. So, self-respect it is. Because when we respect ourselves, we are showing ourselves love. So this is about making self-honoring decisions versus self-compromising decisions. This is about making decisions that add profit to our life instead of decisions that keep us depleted. This is creating and holding boundaries. I always joke that it's easy to create boundaries. It's a lot harder to hold them, right? This is about nourishing yourself. This is about speaking up. This is about choosing actions that honor who you are, not just the people around you. All right, so this is the self-respect piece of the puzzle. And then when we are present and when we start to treat ourselves with self-respect, then it allows us to come to this third one, which is authenticity. All right. Authenticity to me it's a couple of things. It's vulnerability, which means vulnerability with yourself, the willingness to be honest with yourself as well as the people around you, it is genuine. We're not putting on a show. It's not political. It is genuine, and it is in integrity. So it's about being the same person in every room, right? So it's actually really funny. I was working with this team, and I was doing some accounts with them, and somebody was taking over my role. And they were like, can I just see some of your emails and how you interact with different clients or different customers? So that I know, if it's this type of person, this is how I need to speak to him. If it's this type of person, then this is how I need to speak to him. And I just started laughing. I'm like, you get one voice. This is it. I do not speak differently to different people. I see everyone as equals. I honor everyone and I bow to no one. And therefore, I hold that. And I don't see that I don't need to be somebody different in any situation. And so that's an example of what we don't want to do. We don't want to look around the room and say, who do I need to be? We need to walk in the room and say, this is who I am. All right. So just remembering that the shadow archetype of the heart center, okay, so coming back to what love truly is, and love is held in our heart center. The shadow archetype of the heart center is the actor or actress. This is when, and we've all done it, it's a way of understanding when we're out of alignment and when we're not acting in an authentic space, or maybe we don't feel safe to be authentic, whatever the reason is. But it's when we portray one thing externally, but internally you feel completely different, right? Maybe it's when you show on social media that you are in this amazing relationship, and the reality is that your relationship is falling apart, right? So just making sure, it could be that, it's just portraying externally one thing, but internally you feel like it's just a farce in some way, shape, or form. So, but there is something absolutely magical that starts to happen when your inside matches your outside. Your energy becomes magnetic. That is when we become, and all of this vibrancy is about being magnetic, about drawing things to you, and without having to try so hard, because you're just present. You make self-respecting decisions. All of these things expand your energy. And you're authentic. And all of those things, all they're saying is, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And operating from that place of love creates this really vibrant human that can impact so many other people in such a positive way. So this is what it takes, guys. This is why it's important. This is why we care about this at all. These are just a couple of the reasons. But now you get to decide what you're going to do with it. So I will go ahead and attach a companion guide in the show notes to go along with this episode so that you can get started. Or if you're really ready to just dive in head first, this is the exact work we do with one-on-one clients. And you can use the link to book your complimentary clarity call to see if it would be a good fit, to see if this is something that you want to dive into even more. If you're having any type of struggles with either the present piece, with the self-respect piece, the authenticity piece, we do not leave any stone unturned, because we know what it means to have more and more people operating from this sweet spot, operating from this place of vibrancy. This is how we do it, guys. This is how we're able to make the world a better place, by just being ourselves. Okay, so that is all I have for you for now. Just remember that transformation starts with awareness and builds with choosing to take action on the information that you got. So please grab that companion workbook and take action. Take the next step. Send this to someone who may need to hear it, and I will catch you on the next episode.